So after Miami Carnival and my first taste of soca music, I decided to dive into the history of soca. And I was actually really surprised at the origins of it and where it started. Soca music as we know it today started in the 1970s by someone named Lord Shorty. He was a calypso musician in Trinidad, and he wanted to revive the sound of calypso, which had been around since the 17th century when slaves came over to Trinidad. So he was trying to find a way to revive it and bring new energy to the genre.
Soca is a combination of East Indian and African rhythms. The beginning of the whole thing was the purpose of soca in the 70s, as a matter of fact, is about anywhere around 69 to 70. But the purpose was to bring the East Indian and the Africans in Trinidad together. So there was a combination of the two main rhythmic structures in Trinidad to create a sound that would be totally Trinidadian. Let us call it a Dougla rhythm, so to speak. And it is not soul as American soul, but the soul of Trinidad, the soul of Calypso, the inner man, the depth, the beauty of Trinidad that has come out into the music.
I didn't know that there was a large community of East Indians in Trinidad. That was like I had no idea. Back in the 1800s, when Trinidad and Tobago had finally opened up to immigrants and they were allowing people to come in and be indentured servants in exchange for land and property and things like that, there was a large group of East Indians that moved from India over to Trinidad and Tobago. And they've had a large influence on the culture since then.
I tried to combine the East Indian rhythm and the African rhythm together. I didn't have a name, but I knew I had something. The following year, I did my first album called The Love Man. And I did all the songs on the album, 10 songs on the album with the Dolak. And everybody started to condemn me. Oh, I'm trying to play Indian, I'm trying to mix the Indian music with the calypso, and it can't work, and da 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 da. So the album failed in sales. So what I did the following year, all right, in 1974, when I went back to the studio, I did Endless Vibration. I took the rhythmic structure from the Dolak, and I put it on the drum set. So that nobody could say, I'm doing Indian music. So I just take the accent, put it on the drum set, and then I get a name, and I say, Soca, Sokah. The Kah represents the East Indian influence. What happened with the spelling is that a guy called Ivor Ferreira, who was writing a thing for the Punch or somebody, he spelled it Soka. And I didn't fight it. I just left the SOCA,
right.
okay, SOCA as against SOKAH. It felt okay, so I had no problem with that. For me, it was a matter of rhythmic structure and not just a spelling. As long as it's conveyed soca, the soul of calypso, not soul and calypso.
And so what some people consider the first soca album was Love of the Caribbean by Lord Shorty in 1975. So it's obviously something very impactful in the Caribbean, and I can see why it took me so long to hear about it, right? Like, it's something that I enjoy, but it's so foreign from what I grew up from, and a lot of people, they don't like to abandon the things that they're familiar with and they're comfortable with. I'm the opposite. I like doing that, but a large majority of people have trouble doing that. So I can see why it took me this long to even find out what it was, but I'm glad I did, and I hope like giving some context to people as to what it was and how it came about might open somebody's mind to it, you know? So right now I'm just kind of going down the rabbit hole and trying to learn. So if anybody has any information for me, any books, any websites, anybody I can talk to just about the history of soca, I'd definitely be interested about that. So if you do, hit my comments, hit my DMs, wherever you can contact me, just let me know. I'm trying to learn as much about this as possible because I kind of want to act as like, I want to put more people onto it, more people in my circle, more people like me who might not know about it, but who might be interested. So if you have any information about it or anywhere I should go look, let me know.